This is part 2 of The Enemy Comes to Steal, Kill, and Destroy. We both have dealt with things from the ordeals we've gone through. And when we were going to therapy, my dad and some family members threatened the therapist, so we had to stop going. So yes, we have tried to go to therapy, because I know that would probably be a question that someone would ask. Also, I wanted to say I'm not doing these videos for sympathy, so I don't need the sympathy or whatever, but people can, put comments, positive comments if they want to. And I thank you for that. This was when my son was about 16 years old that we tried to go to therapy, but we haven't tried again because we just don't want to get anyone else hurt. Um, um, it ticks me off when people take advantage of people with disabilities. I fought hard as a mother for my son and for myself. To tell the truth, it's a relief for me that some of the people who hurt us are no longer living, because God took them, so they can't hurt us or anyone else. So when people choose to sit and laugh or joke about something they know nothing about, we will sometimes laugh it off to keep from going off on people. My son, yes, my son has a lot of children, because listening to family members leading him the wrong direction, as well as supposed to be friends. He started dating. They were telling him one thing, and while they was telling him one thing, I was trying to lead him in the right direction. So who did you think he was going to listen to? Because you got a lot of people telling you one thing, and you got one person telling you one thing, and you have a intellectual disability, so he get mixed up, and they know that, so they use that to their advantage. Let's see. I was born into money, but I never saw it. It was stolen from me by family members, my dad, and a couple of more people. My son is wealthy and owns businesses, homes, vehicles, but we don't live in any of them or spend the money. He turned it over to the family members that take care of his children to keep them safe living in the homes. So therefore, we don't have a vehicle, and we both are on disability due to our illnesses. So we don't have a vehicle to get around. He made a choice not to use the money, because when he tried to, people kept having things to say. Just like people still have stuff to say now, but they have nothing to say when he was telling the family members that they could help other people that needed the help. But then when he stopped doing it, because some of those people that was being helped was the ones that was hurting us, then it got to be a problem. To me, that don't make no sense. So both of us are on SSI disability due to our illnesses, and no, the money was not made all the money was not made in a bad way, but some was due to him being forced to do stuff, and that's not cool. Which is another reason he chose not to use it. And when his grandfather passed, he was also left money. And his father left him 3 cars and money when he passed. But to me, his father owed him that much. I mean, he didn't spend no time with him when he was here. He didn't spend no time with none of his kids. And I used to beg him, even when me and him was together, to spend time with him. I didn't want him to, he didn't have to do nothing financially. If he didn't want to do it, he didn't have to do it. But he couldn't even just spend the time with none of his kids. And to me, that's not cool. Don't bring kids into this world, especially like he did, by putting holes in the condom, and then I got pregnant like that. Like, is that cool? And then he admitted to this. This ain't nothing I'm just saying. This is what he admitted. And I knew it had to be something, because I knew a condom was used and it didn't burst. Okay. So, but in the end, with him when he in his last days on the earth, who had to take care of him? Of course, my son. You see how God turns the table when you mistreat people. You never know who gonna have to take care of you in the end. But I'm glad that he worked it out with my son. He was able to spend some time with him in the end, and he apologized to both of us for things that he's done to us, because he used to beat on me. He even tried to choke me and my son. He knocked me down when I was pregnant with my son. He slapped me, backhand me, tried to choke both of us. So I mean, we've gone through a lot of stuff. And you know, some people sit around and lie about things that they went through, or try to say, oh, I can relate, but you can't relate to nothing we don't went through. You maybe don't went, everybody have their own things that they've gone through. Yeah, you've gone through some things, but you really can't relate to nothing if you ain't went through the exact same thing. You can like just talk to that person, or maybe somebody could, you know, you can like, maybe like I could talk to somebody who have been through somebody like abusing them or whatever, because maybe they'll be more open to listening. But saying that you, oh yeah, I know how you feel. No, you don't know how we feel. Okay. But we still deal with the aftermath of traumas from what he did and all the lies that his dad told on us. And he gone on off the earth, you know, and we still dealing with the aftermath. My son has been forced to do a lot when he was with his father and with family members. I have I have been held hostage as an adult and a child multiple times. My son father put holes, well, I already said that about the holes in the console. Let me skip to that. Um, I want everyone, what I want to say to everyone is, if you haven't already had sex, don't have sex before marriage. That's the one thing that I do want to say to everybody, because once you do it, you can't take it back. There were a couple of people that I dated that I know for a fact was sent to me, because it was said that they were sent to me. One of them being my son. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here, since people want to keep picking at my son or picking at me. My son's father is my cousin. So me and my son are cousins, and that's my son, and I'm his mother, and he's my son. That's stupid, because we got family members that's so stupid, that's into this incest stuff, and they do stuff like that because they down with stuff like that. That's the stupidest stuff that I've ever heard in my entire life. But people gonna stop picking at me and him because I did not know, but his dad did know, and he think that was cool. That wasn't cool. Ain't nothing cool about it. Okay, let me see. My son even has a baby mother that was sent to him, or a couple of his baby mothers that was sent to him, and one of them, she admitted to like taking the condom off and holding on to sperm every time she did, and putting sperm up into herself. So that's how he ended up with all these kids. Why people want to sit up and laugh and giggle about it, and it's not funny. Ain't nothing funny about it, because you never know what nobody be done went through when you be sitting up laughing. And that goes for anybody that have ever laughed about that. It's nothing funny about it when he's disabled intellectually. And it's not cool. Ain't nothing cool. Yeah, it don't look like nothing wrong with him, but it don't have to look like something wrong with somebody for something to be wrong. You don't take advantage of nobody. That's why I speak up, and I'm going to continue speaking up. And all the reason people was able to do stuff, because people took him from me, and I fought to get my son back. Family members think they can just do what they want to do and think that they're so bad, but I show them that they're not bad, because ain't nobody bad but God. And God gave my son back to me. Y'all took him like, and holding us hostage and stuff like that. What kind of mess is that? That's so stupid. When things, okay, let's see. When things happen to us, did we call the police or go to the police? Of course we did. But my dad would tell them that we lying. Or you would have other mean family members that would say that we're lying. So what you think happened? Of course, people was let go when they did lock him up. Because, once again, I'm going to say, he's a retired lieutenant. So they believed him, which is why him and the lady was always let go when they did things to me and my son. At one point, I wasn't remembering these things, but I prayed and I asked God to let me remember. And some things I still didn't remember, but the main stuff that I needed to, I didn't remember. But I remember everything now, and I'm glad that I remember. And God ain't gonna never let me forget it, because he wanted me to tell my story. He been wanting me to tell my story all my life. But I worry about how other people are gonna feel. I can't keep sitting up worrying about how other people gonna feel. They don't care about how me and my son feel. Or how they feel when they took my grandkids' life. I was taking 20 pills a day for my lupus. And what was they doing? Going to have people working at the pharmacy like they work in the pharmacy, changing my pills. And so therefore, that's why I couldn't remember, because it wasn't even the medicine I was supposed to have been taking. And I'm seeing wondering why the medicine ain't helping, and the doctor wondering why the medicine he giving me ain't helping, because they doing stupid stuff. To where one of my aunties that was a nurse had to start coming down to the hospital when I got my medicine and go back there in the pharmacy and make sure it was the right medicine herself. Nobody should have to do that. That's stupidness. So, of course, like I said before, I have lupus, fibromyalgia, occipital neuralgia, rheumatoid arthritis, bursitis, dysarthria, sciatica nerve pain, and neuropathy. My son has ADHD, an intellectual disability, cyclic vomiting syndrome, and autism spectrum. There have been many times I have almost been ran over in my wheelchair from my father and my family members sending people to do that to me. That's so ignorant. I have been using a wheelchair since 2012 to get around. People have messed with our medical records and the cars that we use